Good Monday morning, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. This is Christine Peckstein with Move into Action, and I am coming to you live from my home office. This is the hub of where everything happens around here, and so I hope that you have had an awesome 3-day weekend. Today, I have a show topic that I just think is super, super important that we, as American citizens especially, talk about and take advantage of, and that is our freedom. And so for today's episode, that's what I want to talk to you about. When it comes to coaching and training, I think that freedom is absolutely one of the biggest things that we have access to today that we just don't take advantage of enough. And what do I mean by that? As a life coach, I get a lot of people that I coach on a regular basis and talk to who feel that they're trapped, who think that they can't change their lives. And it's like, but wait a minute, you have all of this freedom. And they look at me like I'm nuts, and I'm like, okay, what is the opportunity that surrounds you? What kind of opportunity do you have access to every single day, every time you wake up? This country, we are so gifted with the blessing of opportunity in so many areas, and the areas that I'm talking about are our life areas. We have 9 of them. And so when I was putting together this episode, now I spend some time on social media, and I know you probably do too. And so this is where I think that it is really important that we look at how our freedom, we can either use it or lose it. And sometimes we may not even realize that we haven't taken advantage of all the freedoms that we've had. And by looking at social media, what I notice is that there is a whole lot of complaining going on. And that seems to be what we feel our freedom is. Ouch. Yeah, because you know what, and I've even done it. I'll catch myself. It's like, oh, I'm doing an awful lot of complaining today. Well, instead of complaining about what I don't like or what isn't working or what I feel should be different, is there something that I can do to change it instead of complain about it? Because truly, we have the freedom to take action. And we have the freedom to take action in ways that do much more than just moving our mouths do or voicing our opinions or our complaints. We have the freedom to not only do those things, but we also have the freedom to embrace those things by taking action and by creating a life that we want to live. I mean, we have the opportunity to do that. So many things that are right there for us to take advantage of. They're at our disposal if we will just embrace and use them. But most often, we find ourselves using our voices, our mouths. We're just going to voice our complaints, and so we complain and we complain and we complain, and we don't like all these things that are going on, or we don't like what's going on in our communities, or we don't like how our relationships are going. We don't like what our kids are learning in school. We don't like what happens at work. We don't like how our bills are, you know, our finances. We don't like how those are, but yet have we taken any action to change those things? Have we taken action to build our lives around different things? And so that's what this show is dedicated to, or all of these freedoms. Now, as a life management coach, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cover the 9 different life areas real quick. And quickly, since I'm doing this live on 2 different media types, we have the Google and the Blog Talk Radio. I'm just checking my time right here to make sure that I'm okay with that. And we are right on schedule, so we're doing great. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the 9 different life areas. For those of you who are not familiar with life management, there are 9 different life areas. So you have the freedom on any given day, any given moment, should you choose to change your life, that you can. You have opportunities all around you. And a lot of times it's just opening our eyes to make sure that we're not so busy, that we're just racing through life and we're missing all those opportunities, because that is entirely possible. We think we don't have opportunity, but yet we haven't stopped long enough to look to see what's around. What can I embrace? What can I build? If there's nothing there, this is the land where we can create something from nothing. And it is awesome. Every single one of us has the opportunity to do that if we will grasp what's out there and we'll seize it and work it with all of our might. It sounds easier than it is. It's not easy. It's very difficult because it requires a lot of work and a lot of dedication and a lot of commitment. It requires that we don't give up and we don't quit. So while it sounds easy, when you're actually in the trenches and you're doing the work and you're up to your neck, it gets very difficult, and endurance becomes what separates the winners from the losers. Honestly, it really does. Do you have what it takes to endure? And when you're doing this, when you're building your life around your 9 life areas, you are going to have to endure some stuff you don't like, because it's not all easy street. It never is. We can have these dreams, we can have these hopes, but because we feel that we're going to live them as we move towards them, yes, we are, but it does not mean that it's all going to fall into place without any hang-ups, without any times that we wish we weren't having to endure and go through things that we are. That absolutely happens. But what gets us to the point of success is we have to push through those things, and we cannot give up, because if you give up, the dreams die, and that's where it stops. You've basically just given up on your freedom to continue to push through that and change your life. So the 9 different life areas, we have spirituality, there's career, there's relationships, we've got community, health, there's your entertainment, you've got finances, rest and relaxation, and you've got health. You also have relationships. I think I already said that one. But anyways, so there's spirituality, career, relationships, health, self-improvement, rest and relaxation, entertainment, finances, and community. Wanted to make sure I didn't leave one out. So we have these 9 different life areas that we have the ability every single day to create our lives, to create what we want in those, and to use it to our advantage to build a life that we would really enjoy. A lot of times, though, it requires change. Change means that we have to make improvements. Yeah, I can say, oh, I want to change my life. I want to lose 20 pounds. But in order to do that, I've got to make some changes. And those changes are going to mean I'm going to have to make some improvements. Because if I don't make improvements, that change isn't going to happen. It's just not going to. Our goals are reached. And they don't just happen from wishful thinking. If we are just thinking that we can change our lives and reach our goals without lifting a finger, or that because some things are magically just going to fall into place, we're very deceived. It's not going to happen that way. It does not happen from wishful thinking. It comes from sacrifice. It comes from sweat. It comes from hard work. It comes from failures. Have you ever failed so many times that eventually you succeeded? That's the best part of what our freedoms mean to us, is that we have the freedom to fail. It's okay to fail and to learn from those failures and to embrace risk, so that we take those lessons that we've learned and we use them to our advantage. The things that we've tried, we know what works, we know what didn't work, we can endure, we can keep going through it, and that's when life change happens. So say we don't like our relationships. I hear that all the time. I don't like my relationships. Change happens when we work on them, not when we complain about them. Complaining about your relationships is not going to fix them, but working with those people and being present in them will absolutely start changing them. How about your career? Change happens from climbing the ladder. Change happens from showing up. Change happens from going after things, from looking for that new job, or going after a new position, or changing careers. That's when change in our career happens, is when we go after those things. How about our health? Yeah, we want our health to improve. Everybody I coach, this is 99% of people want their health to improve. So that means in order for that to happen, we have to make changes. We have to eat the right foods. We've got to schedule our exercise on our calendar. We have to hold ourselves accountable to our choices. And we can't say, but I tried. Because when we start, if you see my shirt here, it's the Kicking Butts, my Kicking Butts Bootcamp shirt. This is where it all comes in. It's kicking those butts, the excuses that we have. Well, I tried, but, or I did that once, but, or I can't do that right now. I would, but. When we get stuck on our butts, so we have to kick our butts, and that's why I called it Kicking Butts Bootcamp, it's because when we get off of our butts, that's when things start to change. We become accountable for the decisions that we make. I'm 15 pounds overweight. I eat cheeseburgers all the time. Most of my food comes from a bag at a drive-thru. Well, if I'm accountable to my actions, and that's what I've used my freedom to choose to eat or put in my body, then that's what I've chosen the outcome to be. And I was free to choose that. And when we go through the coaching and we start looking at how our accountability and our choices and the freedoms that we have all come together to bring about the results that we're experiencing now, it's kind of like one of those ouch moments, because it's like, ooh, I did this. So that's why I wanted to do the show today on freedom, because we do have freedom. We have the freedom to choose how to live our lives, how to prioritize our lives, how to set our goals, how to even reach the goals. We get to choose the steps that we get to take. But the cost of freedom is great, because it requires that sometimes we look at ourselves as the culprit. We have to look at ourselves as the person making the wrong decisions. We have to look at ourselves for not being accountable. And really, the outcomes that we have, what we have right now, is the result of that. And that was stuff that we were freely choosing to allow to happen or to bring into our lives. And so we have the freedom to change that. You're not stuck with it. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking of life areas and you're like, ooh, yeah, I didn't really use my freedom so wisely there. The great news is that you still have the freedom to change it. You have the freedom to change it. There's opportunity today. There will be opportunity tomorrow and the next day if you embrace the freedom that you have to make the choices that will help get you to the goals, the life that it is that you want to live in any one of those 9 life areas. And that's the beauty of our freedom. I am so thankful for the men and women who have served our country and who have given us this freedom, who have fought for this freedom so that we have it. Because of them, we have all of this opportunity around us. And I'm so glad that they kicked butt and they went in and did it and didn't make excuses. It's just incredible. When we kick our butts and get those excuses out of our lives, everything changes. So that's our segment today. I have 90 seconds left, and I want to invite you to participate in something that is really, really incredible. Now, you know that I'm all about life management coaching, and what I want to do today, I have on my website at moveintoaction.com, there is my training bank. If you go to products and services, you'll see the training bank. And what that is you for $25 can purchase life management training for someone who can't afford it. And today is the thank you. What I'd like for you to do is to go to moveintoaction.com, click on products and services, and purchase 1, 2, 3, or 4 of the trainings available in the training bank to stock that training bank, because I am going to give those to veterans who are coming home, who need some assistance, who need to get back on their feet, who could benefit from the life management coaching and training that I do. I want to make it available to them, and it would be really, really awesome if you would become a part of the life management movement and help me make this available to those who can't afford it, who maybe are just in a place where they could really benefit from it, but they don't have the means to access it. Go to the training bank, get one, help me stock that training bank. These for today, all day today, every single one of them is going to go to our vets to say thank you. So go to moveintoaction.com. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys next Monday on The Gift of Gab for our 42nd episode. This is getting really awesome. You guys have a great one. I'll see you then.